Welcome everyone, and as you know, I've been doing my Cult and B Horror Marathon, and I've been doing videos talking all the films that I've been watching, such as this box set right here, the Universal Monsters box set, and I'm going to be doing other reviews of films such as The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari very soon. So, outside that, I did watch a good bunch of films, and so I'm not having to do a separate video on all of them. I'm just going to put them all into one of my thoughts on them. I watched 5 films, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 5 films I watched outside of the ones that I'm not making another video for. So let's get down to it. The first one is The Blob, 1958 film. Very cheesy B horror film, and I was kind of underwhelmed by it because I thought it was going to be a bit more entertaining than that, and it was quite flat. And my biggest complaint is Steve McQueen. He's a good actor, yes. In this film, he does an okay job at playing this role, but he's meant to be a 17-year-old. He has grey hair, and despite having blue eyes that kind of make him look a little bit youthful, he still looks at least 30. And I think he was about 30 at the time. At least 25. Far too old for the role. Even the girl that he's with in the car, Jane I think her name is, some standard female name. She looks far too old for the role too. That's the problem with some of these older Hollywood films. You always see these younger roles, teenage roles, being played by people at least 23, at least 6 or 7 years older than the actual character they're trying to portray. And it is a problem because it stops you really enjoying it, because you don't see him as a 17-year-old teenager. You keep seeing a man, and that's not what you want. I mean, even his lines in his forehead and everything, well, everyone has lines, but I mean, he just looks older, more mature. So The Blob was a bit underwhelming, 6 out of 10 for that film. Next up was Dawn of the Dead, long overdue for viewing. That was my first time seeing that film. I'm ashamed because I am a film buff and I have not seen that film. That is one of my guilts. The reason is, I'm not a huge fan of the zombie genre. It's okay, I find them fun, entertaining at times. Films like Dead Alive and Creepshow, which I'll talk about in a second. I do enjoy them, but I'm not a huge fan, never swept away by them. But Dawn of the Dead was fun. Not a masterpiece. I don't love it as much as most other people do, but I did enjoy it. There is very bad makeup, and it is quite funny at times to see. And it's really interesting to see how they capture it all inside this mall. It's really good to see how they fend for themselves. So Dawn of the Dead, good film, 7.5 out of 10 or so, I would have to say for that one. And the next one is, I have the DVD right here, Gingersnaps. I loved this film. This is one of the best. This is one of the best that I've watched in this marathon. Gingersnaps is a real surprise. I mean, it's a combination of genres. You've got teen drama mixed with the idea of werewolves and horror, and the film just blends it all just magically. One way I see it is, it's like a stylish version of a John Hughes film, Breakfast Club, mixed with David Cronenberg body horror, because we see this transformation of the characters. And I think, this couldn't have been penned by a man. This is written by a female, and it's just superb. For those that don't know, Gingersnaps is a film about two teenage sisters, one slightly older than the other, and they seem to be going through changes in their body. And aside that, with these changes, they also encounter a werewolf when one of the sisters is bitten. And that's when things start to happen, start to change. She starts to form into this werewolf very slowly, very slow process. And that's what I mean by body horror, because we can see her transforming and how it's, eating her. Films like The Fly, David Cronenberg, that style, that does feel like that's blended in here. And the mixture with teen drama, coming of age kind of tale. We can see ultimately, lots of people are saying this, the film is ultimately a metaphor for adolescence and female puberty. It can definitely be seen as that. I don't see anything wrong with that kind of interpretation. That is spot on. Gingersnaps, talking about it isn't enough. Check out that film. I have a review on Letterboxd if you wish to know more. All these films are reviewed on Letterboxd. And the fourth one would be here is Shaun of the Dead, which I don't own. Shaun of the Dead was a very fun film, also long overdue. It's kind of one of those ones that I should have seen when when it came out I would have been 9, so never mind. Well, I'm pretty sure I should have saw it sooner than that anyway. And it's a fun film. You can definitely see how it's parodying the zombie genre. And there's also a complete reference to Dawn of the Dead when they're ripping the guts out. I liked how that was done. But Shaun of the Dead offer some good jokes, you know. Do you want anything with your shop? Cornetto. You know, funny scenes like that, making them quite memorable. The last one up is George A. Romero's Creepshow. Now, I honestly like this more than Dawn of the Dead, and I just absolutely love the stories. I love films that try to have these structures where they tell individual stories and link them up, or they have some sort of similarity. Here they don't really have similarities, other than just being like 5 short films, I would say. But I think they're fantastic. Yeah, Leslie Nielsen's in there. Even Stephen King makes an appearance, and I didn't know that was Stephen King until I watched some of the bonus features on here. Very good bonus features on this as well. So yes, Stephen King wrote the script for this. It was a combination between George A. Romero and Stephen King, and they have presented Creepshow, and I think they are a terrific duo when making this film, because it's funny, it's very well written, and the effects in it are quite entertaining to watch. Overall, Creepshow, you know, great performance from Leslie Nielsen and everyone else involved in the film. Wonderful. Sometimes it's funny, but sometimes it's quite scary at times as well. Yeah, 5 great stories in Creepshow. And that's it. The Blob, Dawn of the Dead, Gingersnaps, Creepshow, and Shaun of the Dead were the 5 other films I watched outside of this box set and the other films that I'm going to review. We're coming up to the end now, and I will be putting up a video of my favourite horror films from the classic period. I am calling this classic horror before 1969, or 1968, and then modern horror, which is everything after that. Because I kind of see, you know, horror started to change whenever Night of the Living Dead came out. Around that period, that's whenever I would consider this to be the modern horror section. And I thought it would be a good way just to divide up lists and make more. I had been debating what way to do the lists, and this is the way that I want to do them. So I will make a video of that with a combination of me talking here, talking in front of the camera, and doing some voiceover narration, showing clips of the film, because we always like to do that, don't we? We like to see the films. So that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching if you decided to stay with me today, and hope you like the other videos that I put up. Comment, subscribe, and all that shit, and see you next time.